quick video. I got a cat eye front end, probably '05 Chevy truck, extended cab, just a 3-door. Might be the 4-door, I don't know, I didn't look, but these trucks, they sell these braces now. They used to not sell this cross brace. I've done a bunch of these trucks. I usually would use 2.5-inch Sked 40 pipe and weld it across. So the pipe has a little bend into it, and it's almost impossible to recreate that bend unless you have like a big ass pipe bender, which I never had one. So I would run me a straight bar across here. I'll show you guys. I would run me a straight bar across there, 2.5-inch Sked 40 pipe. And what I would do is, where the gas tank meets up, I would cut me a little notch out of the pipe and then turn the piece that I cut out upside down and weld it back up inside of the pipe, because Sked 40 pipe is a lot thicker. This pipe here, this is just, I think Dorman makes these. So this is probably 3/16 wall tubing. And I think they sell these online, but I think Dorman makes them. Dorman also makes these replacement. A lot of times these leaf spring hangers will rust out and break. This truck has the rivet style on the front and the back. I think this might be a 2500 truck. So that's a good thing. They sell both front and rear spring hangers for these style trucks, the ones that rivet on, so you can blow these, of course, take the gas tank down. If they ever rust out, you can blow these rivets out, clean it all up real good, then use grade 8 bolts and bolt it all back together. And I usually like to put a lock washer on, and then I'll tack my nuts to the bolt after I tighten everything down. That way you make sure you don't never, bolts don't never back off. But they do sell those. This side, he snapped the hanger, so I'm gonna replace the hanger. I gotta cut this bushing out and then get that bolt out, replace the hanger. I'm gonna put a new bushing in there for him. But this is the problem. They all rust out right here. You can see this one, the whole shock and everything broke off of this one. But this support holds your passenger side shock, and it holds your rear gas tank strap. So this is a very important bar. This front bar up here, they rust out as well, especially right here above these gas tanks. You can see all of this dirt and debris and stuff just sits up in there, and it's kind of like a pocket, a catch-all. And you know, when the bed is on the truck, you can't really get up in there to pressure wash it and, you know, keep it clean if you're doing any kind of off-roading, or you live somewhere like here in Ohio where we got salt on the roads and stuff in the wintertime. That stuff will just build up in there. And you see all of them leaves and all of that dirt and debris. Once that gets wet, it just stays wet up under there, and it rots these bars out on the bottom right along that gas tank. So these go bad too. But these bars also are riveted in there. And somebody was telling me that they started making reman bars, these bars as well, because I've replaced several of these bars too, and had to use the 2-inch. This pipe is a smaller diameter. I would use the 2-inch pipe and make me a new pipe across there, and cut these old, I used to cut these old gas tank. The strap goes in this little hanger that's welded on there. You see the gas tank strap slides up in there like that. I used to cut these off of the old pipes and weld them onto my new pipe for both of these cross braces. And that was before, like I said, I've done a ton of these. That was before they started making the reman cross braces. So somebody was telling me they actually have these too. I haven't seen them yet, but it's a good idea because all of these Chevy trucks rust. They even rust back here. This pipe is straight 2.5-inch. This might be a 3-inch diameter, 2 3/4 pipe, but this pipe is just a straight pipe. I've replaced them as well. I've seen these trucks to where they're just completely rusted out. Even back here, this flat brace, his is a little rusty, but it's not horrible. I'll clean it all up with the wire wheel. But I used to take C-channel, like 4-inch C-channel, and weld me a piece in there, then replace all of the braces. I've welded so many of these frames. The frames, this is another thing why I got this truck here, and I'm gonna show you guys, this is a real good tip for anybody who has one of these Chevy trucks. This comes like this from the factory. And 2,500, 1,500, it doesn't matter. It always has this. And you can see all it is just like a extra piece of metal in there. I don't understand why they put it there. It's not even thick. I guess they put it in there for like some kind of extra strength, but to me, it's nothing but a catch-all. Like you can see right here, you can see, oh, excuse me, down inside of here, it's all kind of rust and debris, and it just sits right there. And this truck has the metal. This is your bump stop usually is on here for your rear end. So this truck has a rough country lift on it. I don't know what size, but usually it's a bump stop. It'll be a bolt through there. The bump stop will be right there. And some of them have this metal style bump stop. It has 2 bolts on it. But what I always do, anytime I get one of these trucks and I'm doing any kind of welding, rust repair, anything to these trucks, I'll take my cutoff wheel and I cut all of this out. It's open in the back here, if you can see. On each side, it's open. But it doesn't matter because once this fills up with all of that dirt and debris, it just sits in there and it stays wet. And 90% of the time when you see these Chevy truck frames break, they break right there in that area. Because like I said, that little cubby hole right there fills up with dirt and debris and it just stays wet all the time and it rusts out and the frame will break right there. So while I got this truck, you can see this side is fairly clean, but I always do it anyway. I'll just take my cutoff wheel, I'll unscrew these bolts, take my cutoff wheel, run it right across here, cut this off, cut up the sides and remove this whole piece. So then it'll just be a flat spot in the frame and it won't be nothing in there to catch that dirt and debris and it'll stay in there. So that's just a little tip I learned. Like I said, I've done a ton of these trucks, man, Chevy trucks. Fords are the worst. Fords, I don't even like trying to fix frames on Fords because the metal, I don't know what kind of metal, what kind of steel Ford used on their frames on their earlier model trucks, but that shit sucks. You can weld new metal into them Ford frames and they'll break. If say you weld a plate, you cut all of this rust out, you weld a plate here, a week later, a month later, it'll break back here or it'll break up there. Them Ford frames are just terrible, but I've had good luck with all of the Chevy frames I've done. I've never had one come back, and I've welded some that was completely buckled in half to where I had to jack the truck up, come along it, strap it, everything to get it back level, get all of my measurements and re-weld it. But that's just a little tips I've learned. I'm gonna get this all cut out. I'm in the process of dropping the gas tank now. Hopefully it doesn't have a lot of fuel in it. I'm here by myself, so since the truck is lifted, I really can't get the jack up under there to balance it like I normally would. So hopefully it don't have that much gas in it. I can drop it down myself easily without making a big mess. Once I get that gas tank down, of course, take the straps down, get the gas tank down, move that out of my way. I'll cut out this bar, the plate up there, take my measurements because it comes with new plates. Take my measurements, make sure I'm in the same spot, make all of my marks because you want to make sure you weld this bar in the same exact location. So I'll do all of that, get all of that ready, weld the new piece in there. And like I said, I'll take the needle scaler, like I always show you guys, the little needle scaler, Harbor Freight. These things work wonders. You see all of this loose rust in here. You see all of that. You got to be careful. Like I said, this is the small one. This is the small mini needle scaler from Harbor Freight, so it doesn't have as much power. They sell much larger ones. The larger ones will bust holes in that frame. If there's any rust that's penetrated through that frame and you use the large one, it'll bust a hole straight through there. This little one, it's gonna knock the rust off of there. And if it's a real bad spot, it will bust through, but 9 times out of 10, you'll get away with this one a lot better. And I'll clean all of that rust up under there so we can undercoat the frame. He's got some rubberized cans of rubberized undercoating. He's gonna bring them to me tomorrow so I can, once I get that frame all cleaned up, get him all welded together, we're gonna go ahead and undercoat it while he has the bed off. But yeah, that's just a little video, man, show you guys some tips and tricks I learned over the years. Like I said, that's the major thing. That's the most important thing, though. If it's not already rusted right there, like he seems to be in pretty good shape right now, especially the passenger side looks real good, but I'm still gonna cut those out of there, make sure he doesn't have any problems in the future. And I'll make another video once I get everything welded up and show you guys.